Hey everybody, I'm Heather Bernt Santy. I'm one of the national advisors for defending the early years, and it's my honor and my privilege to make a video for DEY's banned book series. So here we go. I chose a book that I love to read with preschool-aged children. It's called Worm Loves Worm, and it's written by J.J. Austrian, illustrated by Mike Curato. And it's a story, as you might guess, about two worms who love each other. The very opening, worm loves worm. Let's be married, the first worm says. And the second worm says, yes, let's be married. And as soon as they make this decision, a community of other insects comes together. And everyone's pitching in their ideas for how they can help and what we need to think about to make this wedding happen and how can we celebrate this with you. They start to talk about who's going to officiate the wedding. They start to talk about who will be in the wedding party. We want to have best beetles and we want to have brides bees there to celebrate this special day with you. They start to talk about rings and they realize they don't really have fingers or hands, so they decide to wear the rings as a belt. And then there's conversation about how we have to have dancing at the wedding, which I agree with. Good job, worms. So then the conversation moves on to their clothing. They start to talk about dresses and tuxedos and what kinds of hats they might wear, when suddenly the question arises, but wait, which one of you is the bride? Which one of you is the groom? How do I know? If I'm going to be best beetle, I need to know who's groom. And if I'm going to be a bride's bee, I need to know who the bride is. After a little bit of thought, worm says, I'll be the groom. And the other worm says, I'll also be the groom. We can both be the groom. And they continue. However, there is an objection. The cricket says, this isn't how it's always been done. We have to have a bride or a groom and a groom. And the worms say, we'll just change how it's done. If that's not how it's always been done, we'll just change how it's done. Worm loves worm. So they were married. It ends so they were married because worm loves worm. It's a really cute story. It's a happy story. It's a story about community and support and family. And I think it's an important, I understand why I guess some people would take issue with it, but it's important. It's not about pushing any kind of woke agenda. It's about the fact that different family structures exist and that different ways of being married exist in the world. It's out there. And our job as early childhood educators and caregivers and role models is to help them make sense of what's happening in the world that they see. And so this is a sort of a playful way to send that message that it might be different from what you know, but it's still just love. It also makes me giggle a little bit that this got banned for promoting gay marriage or transgender identities, because worms contain male and female. So it's actually really scientifically accurate. But no, we can't have that. We have to make it something to be afraid of. It can't just be as simple as representing the kinds of families we see in the world. It can't be something as simple as love. There must be something more to it. This is a story children will enjoy, which is vital to their literacy, to their wanting to read and learning to read. This is a story with rich vocabulary, which we know is important to future reading success. This is a story about belonging and being accepted and being seen, which is important for everyone, no matter your age. So nice try, folks. I'm still reading Worm Loves Worm.
Welcome to the Defending the Early Years Banned Book Club. In an effort to combat censorship, We will feature a banned book each month and provide a brief overview and a favorite quote.